Two titles on the line tonight in NXT, but in reality there was probably more chance of Doudrop dropping weight than these titles being dropped. Welcome back, guys, to WWE NXT review for the 20th of December 2022. It was the last NXT before Christmas, and it wasn't really a Christmas themed episode of NXT, but we did have a cool wee segment with Chase U, which we'll talk about later when we get to it there. And you know what? I've no complaints. I know I mentioned the fact that there was no like Christmas themed show, but if they want to steer away from that, I don't really mind, because some of the Christmas things we've seen in the past like decade, the Christmas themed Raws have been absolutely, and SmackDown for that matter, have been absolutely terrible. So maybe it is better that WWE stay away from doing their Christmas street fights and some jobber dressed as Santa Claus or whatever. But we kick off NXT with Carmelo Hayes versus Axiom. A bit of a weird match in my opinion to have take place. Opens up the show and Carmelo Hayes gets the win. So I predicted Carmelo Hayes. I'm not really going to take too much credit. At the end of the day, it's fucking Carmelo Hayes beating Axiom. It's not like I predicted the lottery number, so I think most people could have predicted Carmelo Hayes to win. So, I mean, it is what it is. Nice wee opener or whatever, but I mean, who cares? It's fucking wrestling at the end of the day. It's shit. We get Mackenzie Mitchell backstage with Grayson Waller. And Waller says, like NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez, Waller doesn't want to wait for his title shot. He wants it tonight. Mackenzie says NXT Champion Bron Breakker is on a media tour of North Carolina to promote Vengeance Day. Waller insults Braun and says he knows Braun is watching the show on his phone, so he needs to meet him in the ring tonight, bitch. And Waller walks off. I like Grayson Waller. For me, this guy is the next star of NXT. I mean, he's already a star of NXT, but I can see him being a main eventer on the main roster 100%. Then we got Zoe Stark versus Nikita Lyons, the match that nobody asked for. And it's funny enough that these two actually met in the first round of the WWE Diva of the Year 2022 competition that we're running on the channel. Nikita Lyons won in the poll. She won as the sexier diva, but she didn't win this match tonight. Zoe Stark with a roll-up, grabbed the ropes, 1, 2, 3. Zoe Stark got the win. She also attacked Nikita Lyons before the match started. I'm assuming this isn't the end, it's only the beginning. Then get Cora Jade backstage again with Mackenzie Mitchell. She's asking Cora how she feels about Roxanne Perez winning the NXT Women's title. Cora Jade says that was supposed to be her moment. Generation of Jade was supposed to be winning the title. She says that Perez is the luckiest person alive and doesn't deserve the title. She says she deserves the title. What about what she deserves? And then Wendy Chu attacks her and they start brawling. So I guess she deserved to be attacked by Wendy Chu. Then we get the first title match of the night. Triple threat action for the NXT Women's Tag Team titles. Toxic Attraction versus Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley versus Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. So Toxic Attraction are still together. They're still being called Toxic Attraction. They're just minus Mandy Rose. Of course, there was no mention of Mandy Rose tonight. And it was Carter that managed to beat Nile and retain the belts for her team. So I hate this team of Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. I hate their stupid fucking theme song. Fuck that shit. In the bin. In the fucking bin. But yeah, they celebrate after the match. Who cares? We get a new vignette from Aura Mensa. Bored already. Who cares? Booker T sits down with Roxanne Perez, and look, I get it, this is a nice wee moment for Roxanne Perez, but to me, this felt like something that should be done on a documentary, or this should be something that's on the WWE network. Why are we having like a pure mark-out moment here, where they're sitting down and having an interview about how it feels, and Booker T's talking about how Perez was like his prized talent at Ring of Reality, or Reality of Wrestling, whatever his company's called, and then Perez says Booker knows that she always likes to ask questions, and she's going to ask another one. Has he got any advice? And then he tells her that when it's time to get things done, get it done or whatever. But I mean, really, this didn't feel like it should be on the show, in my opinion. This could have been a network exclusive or an Instagram or YouTube exclusive. Don't really know why we needed to see this. Didn't really add anything. It was basically just, oh, here, you've won the belt. Tell us how you feel. You know, it was nothing to do with the storyline. It was like a mark-out moment. And I don't think that needs to be on the show. But it was on the show, so whatever. We go back to the ring. Apollo Crews is in street clothes. He hits the ring and poses in the corner. The fans are cheering him on. Crew takes the mic. He says that no matter who wins the title between Grayson Waller and Braun Breaker, he's going to be next in line. Then Carmelo Hayes comes out and he asks Apollo Crews, for a guy that talks about fission, how can you see the NXT title from the back of the line? I thought that was a good line for Carmelo Hayes. Then these two continue to cut a promo, and it looks like, I would assume, we're going to get Carmelo Hayes versus Crews. Who knows? Maybe we'll get this at the pay-per-view in a #1 contenders match. I wouldn't be surprised. It could happen. And yeah, I guess we will see. I'm surprised Carmelo Hayes hasn't had a world title shot by now on NXT. So who knows? Maybe he will get it by defeating Apollo Crews. Then we get the New Day backstage. Pretty Deadly interrupt them. Apparently the New Day made a Christmas list for Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly have got most of the list, but not all of the list. And then the New Day say, well, the list we made you last week was based on last week's values. Now we want more. So the prices went up, and then they add a lot more stuff onto the list. And if Pretty Deadly can't get everything that they want on the list, then they're just going to have to not give them the title shots unless they sing the Pledge of Allegiance. But Pretty Deadly won't do it, and they complain about hating Christmas shopping before storming off. Alba Fire got attacked by Isla Dawn. Boring. Backstage we had a promo with Odyssey Jones, Malik Blade, and Edris Enoff with the Schism. Just again garbage. Fuck the Schism. Then we had Indy Hartwell versus Elektra Lopez. Elektra Lopez cheated. She took a page out of William Regal's book and she smashed Indy Hartwell with the brass knucks. I would also love to smash Indy Hartwell, but not in that way. But, you know, whatever. Elektra Lopez wins. Who cares? We then go backstage and we see Tony D. He confirms he's getting a title shot, but he says that he wants Stacks or Two Dimes, whatever one it is. I think is it Stacks? Is it Two Dimes? I can't even remember. He wants him to go and tell Donovan Dijak not to interfere in their match, or else he's going to get hard justice. So, yeah, he's been tasked with going and speaking to Donovan Dijak or whatever. Then we get Soul Rooker versus Alba Fire. This match doesn't even happen. Isla Dawn comes out and beats up Alba Fire some more. So, yeah, there we go. Then we cut to Chase University Christmas party. Some guys, various students are giving presents to Andrew Chase. Some guy called Scott gives a student, but it's fruitcake, and he freaks out. He's like, I'm allergic to fruitcake, you dumbass, and he just rants on on this dude named Scott. I like Chase University. These promos are funny. I like that it was good. Then Duke Hudson appears at the back of the line, and he's confused. He thought the party wasn't until Thursday, so Duke has not got a present, so he calls one of the students out the line and he tells him he needs to go and see some guy called Dean about a scholarship. So this guy goes and Duke says, don't worry, I'll look after your present. And then Duke goes and gives the present to Andrew Chase. Chase says you shouldn't have, because you weren't here forever. You've only been here for like the past 2 months. But then Duke's like, no, I had to get you a present. So there you go. He gives him the plaque. It says Chase is the #1 professor, and yeah, there you go. We get a group hug between Chase, Duke, and Fia Hall. So, and they sing "Merry Christmas" to end the segment. Then we get Brooke Jensen, Josh Briggs, and Fallon Henry. They are backstage. We see them in the bar first, and it turns out that the financial situation of the bar is shit, and that they're in debt. And then Kiana James walks in. She says that she was told all about it by Josh Briggs, and she says that she's went to the bank, she's paid the bank off, and now she's going to be able to buy the bar from the bank. This pisses off Fallon Henley. She says, look, me, you, next week, winner gets the bar. And Kiana James is like, why would I take that offer when I pretty much already got the bar? And then Fallon Henley says, because if I lose, you'll get it for free. You'll get it for the money that you paid off the bank with. And then Kiana James accepts it. I mean, the acting isn't great, don't get me wrong here. This isn't like A-level acting, but it's something different, you know. It's like a different environment. It's a different sort of promo, different sort of segment. And it's basically, it's a feud over a bar that set up a match. So I like this. I mean, is it great? No. I'm not saying it's a 10 out of 10, but it's the fact they're trying something different. You know, I think we need to see more of this stuff on Raw and SmackDown. Then we get the referee, Hank Walker. He's trying to train with Drew Gulak. I don't really care about this Hank Walker guy. Then we get the NXT Tag Team titles. Josh Briggs and Brooke Jensen versus The New Day. The New Day win, but it was a pretty good match. I guess that's what they're going to do with The New Day. They're just going to send The New Day to NXT. They'll probably beat every single tag team, but they'll have good matches, and then that way everyone will think, oh, The New Day's putting the roster over, whereas in reality they're just everyone's jobbing it to them. So I mean, whatever. It was an okay match, but I still don't think The New Day should be on NXT. Then we had these two Indian guys appear, Fear and Sagna. Fuck knows what happened here. They attacked the Creeds, and no, they didn't attack them. They kind of confronted them backstage. I hate the Creeds and I hate these Indian guys, so I didn't listen to any of it. And then the main event is Grayson Waller. He calls it Braun Breaker. But he says he's not waiting any longer. He calls Braun Breaker a coward. Says he wants his shot tonight. Braun Breaker runs out. Braun Breaker hits a spear on Grayson Waller, but Grayson Waller's got like this chest protector, and it looks like it knocks Braun Breaker out. So Braun Breaker's left there like laying knocked out as Grayson Waller picks up the belt and holds it above Braun Breaker's head. I thought the ending of this show was a little bit weak, if I'm being honest, but I mean, overall it wasn't bad. I liked the Chase University segment. The stuff in the bar was pretty cool. I mean, we did get 2 title matches, even though they were totally predictable. They gave us 2 title matches with a lot of segments. Tony D's coming back next week for a shot at the title. It wasn't the worst NXT I've ever seen, and that's why, guys, I am going to give it a 3 out of 10. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Let me know your rating. And yeah, overall, it was an okay show. It was below average, but it wasn't terrible. You know, it wasn't fucking awful. I'm giving it a 3 out of 10, guys. That's it. Till next time, thanks for watching. Been Fog Wrestling. I'll catch you in the next one, and peace.